Golden hills, blue skies, green forests, extremities of life. The breathtaking biomes of California are unparalleled in their diversity. In addition to biogeographic diversity, there is the sheer economic prowess of the state. California's people, industries, and culture interact with its natural environment, generating a complex sphere of influences in this irrevocably important region. The characteristic beauty of California can be traced in its endemic species, unique geography, and namely in the plurality of its landscapes. Large population zones are shadowed by the dominant Sierra Nevadas, running along the state's eastern border. Unprecedented technological progress grows alongside its towering coastal redwood ecosystems. Media moguls transmit and create culture alongside the idyllic Southern California palms and beaches. In this video, I hope to underline a few case studies in the modern history of California, revealing some necessary contextual facets of the state, as well as the future implications of these processes. We'll come to understand California as a place defined by extreme contrast. Its breathtaking natural features intertwine with its identity as an economic behemoth, and never-ending compromises are made across the regions of the state. Movie studios, mineral mines, music festivals, agricultural hotspots, national parks, software firms, and several other economic drivers are ingrained in the physical layout of this land. Inspecting the relationship between these factors can better inform our future and preserve the beauty of California. For our first case study, we'll head east to California's largest mountain range. The most extreme, inhospitable, and arguably the most majestic natural features in California are found in the Sierra Nevada range. Surrounding the highest point in the contiguous United States, Mount Whitney, are intraversible granite peaks and glaciers with another iconic California species at their helm, the giant sequoia. Just 100 miles from towering Mount Whitney, with its gusty winds and intense snowstorms, is the lowest point in all of North America, Death Valley, which hosts some of the hottest temperatures recorded on Earth. Today, the Sierras and their rain shadow are ecotourism hotspots, hosting 4 of California's national parks, as well as the famous Lake Tahoe. Just from Yosemite National Park alone, the national park system estimated an economic benefit of $624 million annually from 4 million yearly visitors. The communities of rural California benefit economically from the extreme natural beauty of the Sierra Nevada, and some environmental regulations are in place to protect this land and its ecosystems. The initial draw to this region, however, was not just its grandiose beauty. The gold rush facilitated a migratory and economic boom that changed California forever. According to Norwich University, quote, "Hundreds of thousands of migrants across the United States and the globe came to California to find gold in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains." As we'll come to rediscover, influxes of immigration are definitive characteristics in the making of California, from its cultural makeup to its economic productivity. In fact, Calaveras County in Eastern California is the namesake of an uncommon silver-gold mineral, calaverite, that was discovered there. As news spread about this gold, thousands of people flocked to the state, and San Francisco's population soared from 800 in 1849 to 50,000 in 1856. The completion of the Transcontinental Railroad fostered additional migration, bolstered by the labor of mainly Chinese immigrants. Competing private interests reshaped and altered the landscape, as the vast natural resources found in this mountain range spurred the idealism, optimism, and fantasy of the Californian immigrant's dream. The Sierra Nevada is a pinnacle of the dramatic beauty of the state and is key in generating the cultural portrayal of California as a nature lover's paradise. The alpine lakes and otherworldly rock formations of the Sierra host immense backpacking trails, for example, the John Muir Trail. The proximity of these mountains to major coastal population centers in the Bay Area and Southern California, as well as inland population centers in the Central Valley, including Fresno, Sacramento, and Bakersfield, is unique and impactful. Tourists from wealthier parts of the state converge in the numerous scenic destinations of this region, resulting in tensions between these two populations. Real estate prices soar as wealthier Californians purchase rental properties and vacation homes. Local Californians in the Sierra Nevada are economically indentured to jobs in ski resorts or hotels, and the economy becomes reliant on the influx of tourism. Political disparities come to light as rural, more economically dependent parts of the state are traditionally right wing, while urbanized cities and communities in California are famously more left leaning. The Sierra Nevada, in its past as the focal point of California's natural resource driven economy, still stands as a crucial geographic entity. The complex tension between its rural communities and wealthier residents towards the coast highlights an internal struggle of California, maintaining land, culture, and economy. Moving on to a pivotal region in California and the world, we'll discuss the Bay Area. While the Sierra Nevada's dramatic formations, extreme weather, and virality serve as a massive generator of the state's natural aesthetic, the San Francisco Bay and its hospitable geography differ. The San Francisco Bay and San Pablo Bay are two large marine bays that are surrounded by a complex watershed comprised of rivers, marshes, and wetlands. The SF Bay Delta is the largest delta on the west coast of North and South America, covering 75,000 square miles. The Bay Area has one of the most desirable climates in the world, although the microclimates of the region are extensive. Along the east side of the bay is the Diablo Mountain Range, and its northernmost point ends with the Berkeley Hills. The Bay Area comprises 9 counties, which interact in a multiplicity of cultural and economic factors. These counties are some of the most politically left-leaning in the nation and have historically been hotspots for anti-establishment counterculture and revolutionary thinking. The Bay Area is extremely diverse in its demographics. Across its 9 counties, the Bay Area is 28% Asian, 26% Hispanic, 36% white, 6% African American, and 6% multiracial. These counties, with a population of around 9 million, also have varying economic focuses, although all of them contain extremely expensive real estate. The South Bay and Peninsula have the most expensive housing, mostly due to the economic behemoth of Silicon Valley, which has a GDP of $850 billion and the third highest GDP per capita in the world. The strength of this region has been fostered by the foundation of high-tech ventures, stemming from the developments of radar and naval technologies during World War II, and of course the contributions to nuclear energy that took place in Berkeley. The Santa Cruz Mountains run along the western part of the socioeconomic region, home to temperate rainforests and the famous coastal redwood, mascot of Stanford University. The coastal redwood is touted as an icon of this California region, its existence made possible by the characteristic marine fog that stretches along the state's northern coast. Contrary to the marketing of this tree as symbolic of the region, only 5% of the old-growth coastal redwood forest remains in California. Tech infrastructure and the proliferation of single-family zoning constantly reshape the landscapes of the Bay Area, while the aesthetics of its pre-modern ecosystems are maintained. I want to draw attention to the ideological and academic nature of this place, underlining the friction between the Bay Area's perception as a politically progressive, eco-conscious place and the reality of its tech-powered rhetoric. The counterculture of the 1960s, coupled with rapid advances in information technology, was interacting with many powerful research entities in the Bay Area. Environmental consciousness was on the rise in the United States, and the community around Stuart Brand's Whole Earth Catalog, published by Menlo Park's Portola Institute, was driven by the cybernetic discipline. This catalog operated through a systematization of nature, with large-scale ecological problems being met with optimism and reverence for technology, creating a whole systems form of interdisciplinary thought. Terms like homeostasis, feedback loops, and equilibrium were applied to natural systems. The Dutch researcher Rian Riemens contends, by developing a whole systems language inspired by the computer industry, cybernetics, and ecology, this whole Earth discourse supplied a specific vernacular to speak of technology and nature in similar terms. The whole Earth model was born out of the convergence of hippie ecological thought, the military-industrial complex emphasizing total control, and the economic lucrativity of information technology. Blending the ideals of technological progress and ecological preservation continues in modern industry. Tech companies continue their resource-intensive research and development, propelling innovations while simultaneously maintaining a green and eco-conscious veneer. The commercial trend of greenwashing defines most companies today, due to the coupling of technology with the health of the planet. Profitable tech companies are involved in global supply chains, outsourcing the environmental and human costs of consumer technology to other countries. Although there's potential and possibility for high-tech ventures to ameliorate large-scale environmental crises, the whole systems discourse has simply obscured and arguably worsened pre-existing issues. The Bay Area is the home of large technological ventures, and the development of modern environmental thought also has roots here. However, through a complex process of appropriation and environmental regulation, this region's influence in these fields can have negative implications for environmental justice and the global combating of climate change. For our final case study, we'll head to California's most populous region, the coast of Southern California. The population of the coastal counties, Ventura, Los Angeles, Orange, and San Diego, combines to about 16 million people. Inland are San Bernardino, Riverside, and Kern counties, which have large populations as well. Southern California is famous for its extremely mild climate, with sunny and dry summers and cool and wet winters, and the majority of this region is suited for the chaparral biome. The mountain ranges around the population centers in SoCal are considerably taller than the ranges surrounding the Bay Area, with LA County's Mount San Antonio, also known as Mount Baldy, rising to an elevation of 10,068 feet. The transverse ranges provide a dramatic backdrop to the scenery of Southern California, yet it's not always possible to appreciate the geographic and ecological beauty of this region. Los Angeles deals with several environmental issues, and these problems have been monumental in the history of the United States. The city had dealt with thick, hazy smog since the early 20th century, but finally, in 1947, the worsening air pollution in Los Angeles and its heavily car-centric infrastructure culminated in the creation of the State Air Resources Board. Shortly after this, the first federal environmental legislation regulating air and water pollution was passed. The city's rise to economic and socio-cultural relevance, spurred by the film industry and fossil fuels, was actualized by the creation of environmental quality standards. Southern California's abundant oil reserves fostered its development as a low-density suburban oasis, and this planning eventually resulted in long-term sustainability issues of congestion and pollution, as well as a barrier to the construction of affordable housing. From the 1950s onward, many American cities restructured their zoning and city infrastructure to accommodate the rise of suburbia, replacing historic downtowns with arterial highways for commuters. LA and the majority of other SoCal population zones embodied the sprawl, with consequences for its natural resources and ecological stability. Los Angeles is situated among beautiful beaches, diverse biomes, and prominent mountain ranges, yet its pre-existing ecologies and landforms have been altered to an almost unparalleled extent. Southern California, namely in its coastline, is a powerhouse for California's economic status, worldwide influence, and aesthetic value. Beaches like Laguna, Santa Monica, and Venice are paramount in the state's media influence and tourism, while its ecosystems and biodiversity are compromised in the sculpting of Southern California. With these case studies, I've highlighted some crucial natural regions of California and the interface of human interactivity contained within them. As Californians, we are uniquely situated within a diverse, large landmass. California has elevated itself to one of the most economically prosperous regions in the world because of its strategic geography, while also compromising the biotic and environmental factors that constitute its beauty. The Sierra Nevada, the Bay Area, and Los Angeles are only a part of the story, as comprehensively covering the landscapes of this state would require a huge amount of time. However, in conclusion, these three crucial regions display the Californian syncretism of economic goals, cultural influence, and biogeographic makeup, which is starkly unique and irreplaceable.